It's not very often that I get to start this show, especially this show, a recorded podcast with some breaking news. But this is pretty exciting for those of you that are big political junkies. If the election were to be held today, it would be most likely because of some sort of massive clerical error. See what I did? See what I did there, huh? Listen, I haven't been doing the show in a while and obviously got to knock some rust off, of this thing. But I am sorry that I haven't been doing a show in a long time. There's been some things happening in my personal life that are at the very least having me question about where I really want to go and what's really important to me. I still love doing this. I love hanging out. I love having the topics. I love having the talks, the connection that we have. I think it's fantastic. But when you got nothing to say, you just, I used to drive me crazy. So I'm going to try to say something today. I got an email, a message from somebody at terryjames.com who had a question. I figured, I'll go ahead and answer that today. Try to get back into the swing of things, though. But you know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, I used to want it all. I know that. I know that I was somebody who wanted everything. I wanted vacation homes. I wanted bitchin' cars. I wanted the best traveling around. I wanted all that kind of stuff. I still want some of that. I think all of us want that. But right now, I kind of think I'd be happy with just a great car. Something I'm proud to drive, something I know that's going to work, something that, that type of stuff. Maybe a house, obviously, maybe a house that's completely paid for. That would be nice. Some good health insurance. I'm not asking for much now. I still have the fantasy that I would love to live in another country for a while. I've always wanted to do that. I don't know if you remember me saying this or not, but it's true. I still would love to throw myself into a different culture, different language, different everything where I got to learn. I got to figure some stuff out, maybe make some new friends, some new experiences. I think it would be great. But nowadays, if you tell somebody you want to move out of the country, it's like, you're an American, get out of here, Terry dog. It's, oh, come on. No, I've always wanted to do that. I think it'd be kind of fun to do. But, so many people are out there just chasing it with the podcast and the YouTube channels. And I only know this because this is my life. This is what I do. This is what I like to do. But for those of you that are out there just chasing it and just watching others have their success and thinking that you could do exactly what they're doing and be successful at it, sometimes the second guy in can have some success, but the third, fourth, fifth guys in, no, they never. In fact, they're just a joke. And everybody is just trying to copy one another's success stories. People are trying to sell classes about how I made it and this and that. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And I've come to the realization that I'm just done. I'm just done trying to be like others. And yes, I will admit I fell into that trap. I am a classic person who loves to role model. I love role modeling, and I've had massive successes in my life by role modeling others. But I don't want to steal their act. I don't want to steal what they're doing, but I am inspired by people that have started with nothing and have made something out of themselves. I mean, that's basically all of us, isn't it? But I'm just kind of done trying to be like others and really just trying to find where I fit into this whole scheme of things, this whole life, all that kind of stuff. And it's exhausting. It's really tiring just trying to do something. You know what I'm trying to say? I hope you do. I told you that I had an email, and I don't know how long this podcast is going to be, but I told you I had an email, and I wanted to pull it up here and read it to you. It's from Stephanie. Stephanie says, "Hi, Terry, enjoying your new podcast." Thank you very much, Stephanie. While listening the other day, I wondered and wanted to ask you, how do you structure your day for all the things that you do? You seem to be pretty organized and definitely successful. So I was curious if you had any tips for keeping focused and productive in your daily, weekly tasks. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate the question. Well, It's a little weird because I think first of all, you have to really want it. You have to decide what you really want. It's obvious that you need to have some sort of direction, some sort of plan to go with it. So work on a plan first of all, and be kind to yourself along the way. Don't put too much emphasis on where you're headed, that final goal. Don't put too much emphasis on that. I've talked about this many times before. My life got better when I had a specific direction that I wanted to go in, but no specific outcome. Like, oh, I want to host the Tonight Show or something like that. I used to be that way, but I started heading that way, and then I start opening all the doors along the way to see if maybe something else piques my interest. So I would suggest doing something like that, but you also need to identify where you're really wasting time in life. And journaling has really helped me with that. It may be or may not be something for you, but I like knowing where I've wasted my time and how I can do it. And it could be something as simple as watching too much porn or playing too many video games or doom scrolling on social media all the time or spending too much time playing in that political toxic world. It's rough. And that could waste entire days, weeks, months. And before you know it, you've wasted, half of a decade of your life just seeing what everybody else is doing and what they're thinking and what's happening next. The media is designed to do this to us. You have to trust me on this. If there's anything I know, it's how the media works and what they want you to do. They want to scare the hell out of you. They want to take every free second out of your life and own it and own you. They get ratings based on keeping you around for a long time. For example, let's just say you tune into a live television show, your favorite news channel at 10 after 3 in the afternoon. If they could keep you from 10 after 3 to 17 minutes after 3, they get credit for that whole entire half hour. Okay. So they do it by scaring the living shit out of you. And the next thing you know, you've wasted your entire time worrying about and stressing over things that you cannot change whatsoever. There's that fear of missing out, that FOMO stuff. They want you to feel that way. You have to find ways to make social media and your free time work for you and not waste it. You got to do the grunt work. You have to do it. You have to make some very serious decisions on where you're headed and where you want to go in your life. And based on those decisions, you'll get there. You really will. I've said it many times before. If you really want something, you're going to find a way to do it. You don't need to sign up for a class. You don't need to read books. You don't need to do anything. Although some of those are in the steps of finding a way to do it. So just be careful. Just be careful of who's trying to dominate your time, where you're willingly throwing your time. Like I said, played video games is one of my, problems. And before you know it, I've wasted a couple hours on there of doing something that could have bettered me, whether it's working out, whether it's reading something or whatever. But all of that stuff can be a trap as well. I always thought that learning something was going to move me forward. And like I said, that's also a trap. Thinking that you need to be completely an expert about something before you do it. That's a problem. My wife, Sherry, she is a great writer. She's won financial rewards. She graduated magna cum laude in school for English. I mean, she's a fantastic writer. I read things that she's written and I'm going, who is that? Did that come out of you? That type of thing. But you know what? She's one of the people that also thinks she needs to be really good at something before she throws it out into the world. And because of that, she's stopped writing and she's talked herself out of it. Even with me, the most supportive husband in the world, which I really believe that I am. I support any dream she has. I encourage her to dream, but she just doesn't do it. She just is very overwhelmed with all the other stuff she's working on. I mean, let's be honest, without her, this household would be a mess. it would be a mess, but I would still love to see her doing something that really inspires her and she's very good at, but she just doesn't do it. So I think that there's a trap there thinking that you need to be an expert about something when you don't. You just have to throw yourself into it and you'll find the time. If the interest is there and it's something that you're thinking about all the time, Stephanie, you're going to find time. And I appreciate you thinking that I've got this down, but I don't. That's just some sort of illusion because I struggle nonstop with it. I have learned some things in the past, like I said, about wasting too much time on things that just don't matter. But damn, you don't want to throw your whole life away. And I'm serious about this. Before you know it, your 30s are gone. Your 40s are gone. Then you're going to be scared shitless in your 50s. And when you get to be my age, you realize if you didn't have it by now, there's a very good possibility you're never going to have it. I still want to believe that my best work is ahead of me. I still believe that I'm very creative. I have the energy to do things. I have the passion to do things. But like I've talked about numerous times, there's nobody gambling on somebody my age. Nobody's rolling the dice on me. But you know what? I may use that to my advantage. I'm going to try to use that to my advantage. Who's to say a guy in his 60s can't be the next YouTube star with some YouTube channel or what have you? I've got a game show that I'm working on right now that's going to be on Facebook. That's going to be happening soon after the Lexington summer break, which is coming up after this week. We have 2 weeks off. It'll be coming up soon after that. In fact, I will be spending my entire vacation because I'm not going anywhere. Sherry still has to do her job. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be spending my entire vacation working on the technical aspect of that, which scares the living shit out of me. So, Stephanie, facing some things like that scare the living shit out of you is also a way that has given me a lot of strength. I realize things aren't that scary. I remember Sherry's dad, when we first got a computer, I was so afraid of the computer. And he said, "What are you afraid of? You're not going to break it. It's just a machine. So play around with it, figure some things out." Now, computer stuff is definitely not my passion. I feel very proud when I'm able to post a podcast like this. I figured this stuff out. I got a camera right here. I got this thing right here. I figured out how to use that. I have a recording thing. I've got a brand new, look at this. I've got this thing right here. I don't know if you can see that. This is my Rodecaster. I have that for those of you that are watching on YouTube. I'm just taking my handheld camera here and showing people what's happening. These are all things that I'm so afraid of. I don't know how to work. I figured it out. Most things are pretty easy nowadays anyway, especially technology. Because if it takes 2 or 3 more clicks, people are out. So they want to streamline everything for you and make things as easy as possible for you so you tell other people about it. I'm still waiting for that moment to happen to me with this streaming software that I have. I don't have that yet, but as soon as I figure it out, and that's what I plan on doing over the next couple weeks, is throwing myself wholeheartedly into that. But I apologize for not doing the podcast in a while. If you've heard the podcast before, I have certain family members who are going through some stuff physically, and it has me very sad. It has me very scared. It has me very angry. I'm really angry at the universe right now that this type of stuff could happen to 2 of the most beautiful people in the entire world. They're the nicest people. And when you start believing in the universe, you start believing in some sort of a karmic thing, it makes me question a lot of things. And I'm really working hard right now on having some sort of faith, and I need some faith in my life. I know I do. I was definitely leaning towards not believing in anything because of stuff like this. And I'm thinking now that I need to rethink that because it might be time to double down and try to figure out exactly what and I don't want to chase people away with this, what God is to me. I could tell you it's not what I see online. I will say that. All these people that say they're Christians and God first and put something like that in their bio. For me, I just know it's going to be a very personal journey, a very personal thing. And if I can figure it out and I can start to believe that and I can start to get strength and that I think I'm at a stage in my life now that I'm feeling challenged and that I need something like that. So, anyway, guys, sorry for rambling. I'm glad to be back doing this. Um, if you have any more questions, just leave them at my website, please, which is terryjames.com. If you haven't subscribed to my Facebook page, go to terryjames.com. There's links to all of the stuff up there. And I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here and have a strong rest of the week. Okay.